Okay, time to continue our work from yesterday. I didn't have enough time to get back into it yesterday. I was just too tired. It was like 10 o'clock or 8 o'clock or something by the time I finished. So we'll continue on today. So we have our application where we want to start to merge all of these efforts that we've done. So I'm not sure if it's really completed yet, but anyway, we are working on these, and I think we'll mark them up as completed once we see a workflow going through them. So these slices here, I think this one is completed, but I really want to make sure that these are done. And part of it is really just to merge all of these efforts. And we made a pretty big switch in terms of the structure of the test runner that we had. So we're working through this conflict resolution here. And I'm kind of not happy how it's grabbing certain things from here to here. I think this is equivalent code though for the get events. I guess push events is missing from the other one, so we might be able to just take everything from the bottom one here. Because room state view is here. And room state view is here, and we have this return history reduce. Here we have a little bit more history. So I remember that being the one here. Resolve and merge editor. Let's do that. That's odd. Okay, this thing, where's the incoming current, but where's the base case? I actually don't want to do that. It looks pretty bad. Deals with conflicts. App.js. Okay, what happened here? App.js. Open that up again. Why is it showing? Okay, so Visual Studio has tried to help, and it did not. Restore our merge. Let's just start from scratch here. Because we have some of these things here that are going to be easier to deal with. But we are in a merge, so we can do a get merge abort and do it again. And now we should have this back where we can merge changes. It doesn't say how these or which ones are conflicted. I guess you can see them here. It's our event stream. Okay. Conflict both added. Okay, so let's just see. Let's do them manually. The tooling I'm not about to wrestle with. So I think we got this here. Is there a better... I like the interface for some of these code. Okay, what did that do? I just expanded this. Oh, I see. So we're just clicking up here. Okay, so I'll just edit it manually. Yeah, this was the wrong one. This is the later one. The bottom one's always the later one that we want, most likely. Let's get rid of this comment here. Oh, good. So we always want accept incoming. Here, the same thing, accept incoming. That's what I was looking for, the little pop-up. I don't know why it wasn't coming up. Current is this. So this is where we have the sample history. And then the tests in here with an event counter. That's the old way. It was kind of clumsy. Now we put the tests right into the history. So that's actually not good. So this is the correct syntax. Now we have a timeline and we have the events alongside the test. For example, here we're testing that the state is empty when we have nothing. Here we're testing that the state has the first added room that we have, and this is our asserts here. And so it's the latter, it's always the latter one. So we can go back up here and just take incoming, because that's what we are merging in. And again, we are merging the, hey, here it is. Short stream today, so no time to chat. I got about an hour and got to do some more Christmas shopping, I think. So hopefully Eurydice can tell me if my audio is good today. I'm clipping. I have to double check before I ask him to do that. What is my 80, 75? I think 70 is good. 70 is good. It is very good. Okay, I'm up to Eurydice's standards of audio quality. Excellent. He's been very good at helping me do this. Okay, I think we're good for all these. So that was a really large change. But down here we have this. Yeah, so that's just the runner. And yeah, the bottom one's better because we have the port and the route path. So that's the other thing, is that we had these routes on the app router, so it's easier to. This was harder to do on .NET, but so accept the incoming change. So now we can just double check that everything still runs. Actually, it won't, because we still have this package JSON here, which has this UUID. So we just take the incoming change. I think that's all. I don't think we have anything else. Or do we have something up here? I guess that's just what's added, so that's fine. What else do we have? App.js, we fixed package JSON. So that's the same thing, mustache and just the UUID. So yeah, accept incoming. Why is this complaining still? This, okay, this shouldn't be complaining. What is this? Oh, this thing down here. I guess it's this ID, adding this UUID. Sure, okay, so now we're clear. We have all of that. And so what else? So we had those three things. So get status, log, and you had the main CSS here. Okay, that's the other. Just looking at all the explanations. Okay, so we had the table current change. We had table stuff. Somehow we didn't have the table. I want the table things in here. Forget where we used it, but I want to drop the styling for the table. I think we did use it. I'll just accept both, I think. There's nothing on the second one anyway, except this closing brace. I think I can just have ours. Accept the current change. I think that should be okay. I don't have any syntax errors. Okay, so I think we're good. Before we continue and node, let's run the tests. And this. Yep, so the new test runner runs, and we have that extra output, which I think I want to curb at some point. But for now, we'll just keep it chatty so we can look at some of these checkpoint things. You can basically see what events happening at each of these points in time, but we have a nice summary at the end. The owl is just information. Each slice is really the testing of the slices here. Where's our... There. So each of these vertical slices, here it's the logic contained within, the command handler, or the state view in the green boxes. So all of these things that I have highlighted, this is what's being tested in these things. So if I go here, we can see that this request unique ID state change is here. This is the request. Right, request unique ID. And then these are the 1, 2, 3 tests that we have here. And we can see that those are the three tests that we have passing here. Or, you know, even they're named correctly. So request unique ID command should be added when requested. I think I also want to parse this so it reads more English-like in an English-like manner. For now, I'm going to save it as is. I know someone's giving me a hard time about using snake case in this. So, okay, so that's good. So I think things merged. I should probably run the application and see that I can go to this thing. So let's just run it without the tests. That should give us our state runner, and I spit out all the URLs that it supports, so I can go to any of them. So I can test out to see if rooms works. And I don't know where that popped up again. Rooms. Is it room setup? I think this is the one. Oh, it's in the other on the other screen, of course. So that always happens to me here. Let me tear that tab off and put it here. And so yeah, this is the rooms, and I just keep this above more actions, keep above others. I can click on here, look at the event stream. I have room added, room deleted, all of this. Oh, again, the other thing that we did was we added fake events. So we have like we also have a standard now for kind of putting some fake events into this if we want to test something. So this is room added and renamed. That's why there's already events here, but if I add another one, so I can say lobby or something, and then click add. Oh, did it not? I don't think we instrumented that. Maybe that's not finished. Processing history, processing event, refresh. Yeah, so I don't think we have, it's interesting, we don't have the button connected. I don't even see that coming in here. So yeah, let's fix that. I think we were just focusing on testing and we didn't even bother hooking up this button. So let's fix that right now. Although I should fix it in the feature branch for this. So let's do that. Or should we fix it as part of the merge? Let's fix it as part of the merge. Just for fun. So let's move this guy to the side for now. Yeah, they expect camel case in JavaScript, but I'm floating around between so many languages I really don't care. You can rename that if you want. Let's see. So we have our rooms mustache here. We have add a room here. So we have this button, add input group. We don't have a form to submit. That's the problem. We have a button that does nothing. Do we actually have the controller in here? We should. I think we implemented it. Maybe that was part of the merge. We zapped that in the merge, maybe. I don't know. So let's shrink some of these tests because they take up a lot of space. That's the conference ID. So it's probably like one of the first things we do, adding the rooms here. Add the rooms, get rooms, slice tests. That's for the state view. We didn't actually finish it. We have room added. So, okay, so we have the state view. We marked this wrong. That's time slots. This is the auditorium. Oh, okay. So yeah, no, we didn't. No, that's right. We did not finish that. So this is actually correct. We had fake events to test this. So we're just testing that this shows up. So this is not a problem. It actually is doing something. We just don't have the feature implemented yet to actually add rooms. We have fake events to show that this is working. So this is actually done. And actually, yeah, that is just an example of how we note down bugs. Okay, so actually I'm actually happy. This does work. And as you saw that, you know, if I have something here, if I change this to 250, we shouldn't be rewriting history, but heck, why not just have fun and try it anyway. If I change that here and we go back and refresh this, oh, I stopped running this. Running it, and then refresh this. Notice that there's a 250. So you shouldn't be rewriting history. I just wanted to show you that it actually works with the event history here. You know, CS250 instead of 200. And the one thing that we did add again in here is, or maybe it's not for this one yet. I'm really curious to see if we have fake events. No, we added fake events for something else. I think we added fake events for the next thing that we're going to merge. So actually, I'm happy with this now. I'll commit this set of conflict resolutions. Yeah, move this guy over. Okay, so yeah, so git status. It shows that we had all of those that were broken. I'm hoping that the package stuff does work. I assume it is. I haven't nuked my node modules and restarted everything, but you probably would want to do that before doing this kind of merge conflict resolution. So I'm just gonna git add everything, because I've solved all of that and all of that's done, and I can just do a git merge continue. I believe I don't think you used to do this. I think you just committed before, and but just to keep in line with rebase, I think they added the merge continue at some point. All right, so git status. What is this? Oh, weird. Untracked files. Yeah, I don't know how I did that. I think I was doing some scripting, and that was something that got left there. So let's remove this thing. Good. So now we can push. Then we can, so we're basically merging all our completed, well, our in-transit branches. I don't think everything's really completed, but we want to kind of finish up the work in individual branches after getting this new test runner in place. So let's see what else is to be merged. So no merged should give us all the slices that are not merged yet. There we go. So now we just have the .NET, which shouldn't conflict at all. It stands on its own. I already tore it out of the... Actually, it's interesting. Did I tear it out? Yeah, I did reset that. So I basically rebased that history of the .NET effort to be based at the start1 tag, which makes it a separate feature. And let's just see what we have here. Whoa. So Yurtis has a question. See what it is. So do you add the system ID example git commit as the ID of the system. Add some events to know who called it. Oh, so some extra metadata for like where events came from and all that. You can do that. It's not imperative to actually have a system run. But yeah, certainly message envelopes, event envelopes, and metadata about events. You can stuff some extra info in there for sure. Ideally, though, you want to keep your event store a little bit more clean, and that is considered to be superfluous information. So I would rather have like the event ID, and then they'd have a separate database, which is really not integral for the running of the system, that would have all this extra helpful information. So for example, if you have a large distributed system and you wanted to figure out which node, yeah, who closed the auction? Oh, yeah. So obviously, if it's I don't know if you want an again. This is back to our questions that we had about the auction last weekend. We're gonna do another stream to follow up Eurydice tomorrow if you want. But what we could do is talk about, okay, do you need first of all, do you need an explicit auction is closed event? Or do you just allow the expiry time to be the convention where, like, if the current time is over that, that's it. All the events that got into the system before this particular timestamp, that's it. That's the end of the activity in that auction. Now you can make projections based off of that. So yeah, so there's no like, okay, so if, what does it mean by, someone ended the auction or the system ended the auction? If you mean that when the system ends the auction, that means that the time expired and the last bid won, then you don't need anything explicit to say that. If someone hits the buy now button, so they like take the highest price, then yeah. Oh boy. Okay. So ended by and reasons. Okay. So maybe that enum is used maybe in a projection, but like I would see that enum just being a flag on a projection, so that, okay, if I have no events of someone buying it now, it would be normal. Depleted would be, yeah. I forget the mechanics of that, but I mean, that's something that we could look at modeling tomorrow, Eurydice, because it would be an interesting case of supplying examples of maybe 4 different example workflows. Or, we had another interesting topic come up in the chat on Discord about someone said that the given when-thens are not enough to fully specify a system, like there's new events there and stuff like that. But that's not necessarily true. We haven't, at least I haven't seen that being a problem. Maybe someone's trying to do too much, and I think we kind of covered a lot of this. I haven't come across that. Yeah, I haven't either. So the only sign that I see that kind of gives you an indication of things going a little bit too, they're trying to do too much in a single slice, is when you start to use these multiple timelines. And actually I can show it in code here, where I have made an example of multiple timelines. Or maybe I didn't. I just showed it in this, so yeah, here, this is what I'm talking about. So yeah, if something's a little too complicated, the sign is that in this given when-then, you're basically restarting the timeline a few times. That kind of gives me an idea that maybe I should have, this broken out into some other workflow up here. Well, so some people say that this structure here isn't descriptive enough for what's happening in the details, and I think their point was that you may add a new event here, but I've never had that problem. I've always used the events that were, let me just get rid of these shapes. I've always used the events that we already expressed in the top part. when I'm talking about expanding some possibilities here. So I don't know. I guess it depends how people are designing their systems, or maybe some domain specific stuff. Well, so the argument is that, let's say we're doing this command, and I think if I introduce some precondition here of an event that I haven't modeled up here, that's kind of hiding the implementation because I'm not seeing it in the UX here, which is true if you did that, but I have never found myself doing that. Or that you produce an event from a command here that you haven't illustrated up here. So there might be some type of event that this command handler might, write instead of, it could possibly be like a failed or a succeeded. So if it has a failed, which I don't store an event, but true, for some requirements you want to persist failures, like for payments, maybe you should definitely have payment failed so that you have an audit for that. Well, the given doesn't, but here you're also doing the then part, the asserts, right? The asserts are also here. So that is something that's produced here. So if it's something different, like over here, all we have is conf ID provided, which is fine. We're not introducing a new type of event. But I think their argument was that regardless of if you're putting the event as part of the given, or if you're putting the event as part of the assert, the outcome, and if you're not using something that's already up here, you're kind of hiding some functionality that people should actually see. I mean, I agree with that. I just haven't had this come up as a big problem ever, really. All of these given when thens are really just reusing events that have been used up here. So yeah, no, I mean, I totally get it. I know what you're saying, Yurtis, and we're in agreement. I think we're just nitpicking about one person's comment that they don't want to overuse these given when then timeline scenarios because they can paint such an entirely different picture from up here that you could, if abused, well, anything can be abused. You could put some bunch of stuff here that doesn't show up here at all, and so someone that's going through the regular workflow up here might be surprised when they run the system and they get into some sort of a edge case where someone shoehorned in some extra features within this given when then, and the person that's paying for the software is not liking it because all they did was go through this top part and never saw this little detail. But anyway, this is just about expressing ideas and the design. So like anything, it can be abused. I can certainly make a very convoluted and incredibly complicated command with a whole bunch of fields and all that, and basically write an entire program within one of these slices. And yeah, I think as a developer, you'd kind of be screaming, especially if you're paid on fixed cost, that you're going to get paid for one slice and it's going to take you 6 months to complete. So I'd probably be pretty pissed about that as well. Yeah, so this is really a communication mechanism, right? And so we're trying to have something that allows both sides to communicate, and it's done in a medium that easily translates to either side's concerns. So as a business person, I know that I'm achieving these goals, and as a developer, I have enough information to actually complete my work and satisfy those goals. So that's all, right? But what is the issue? Okay, I'm not going to belabor this. Just go through the Discord chats from the last 24 hours, and you'll see that there is this idea about I actually answered it. So if you look at my conversation in the Discord, let's just pull that up here. Don't switch. So let's see. I think it was Sam that noted this. Where is that? Okay, so yeah, so I said, how does a given when then hide important details? So, okay, in my mind, because the visual aspects show me the information flows across time slice and all that. Let's see if I can zoom in. Not actually zooming in. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so here. And if a new event is produced in a given when, it means I can't see it visually, but I can only read it. So yeah, that's kind of, it hasn't been an issue for us. And a lot of times if there is a new event, it's a very utilitarian one, like maybe, oh, I think it did zoom in. Okay, it did zoom in. It's just when I press zoom, it zoomed all of my screens. I was kind of like wondering, is it actually capturing that? But it is, so that's good. I guess that's why people have a separate like capture card and a separate computer for streaming versus the one they're doing work on, but I don't care. I can do it all in one. So I mean, does that make sense? This is like where the issue was, like this conversation here. But I answered it. I mean, does that make sense, Yurtis? I mean, I can add a Garfield to this. I like to add a Garfield reaction. There, it's a Garfield reaction. Not impressed, right? That's funny. Bill Burr is doing, what is it? Tour. He's going to Abu Dhabi for his stand-up comedy. So that's an old Garfield joke about Garfield always sending Odie or Normal in a package to Abu Dhabi. Anyway, if you're a child of the 80s, you'll remember. All right, so on to what were we doing? Yurtis with a distraction coming in from left field. All right. Let's see. Yeah, we were just merging in the .NET code, I believe. So, right. So we looked at this. So this is another. I think Yurtis likes my git commands stuff. So I'll zoom in for him here. So this is how I can see which slices aren't merged yet, which is nice. Branch not merged and filter on slice. Right? Pretty cool. Anyway. So anytime I want to see like, hey, what have I not merged yet to, for example, in here, that's my integration branch or dev, right? Dev or integration, I call it the same. So let's just move that and git merge. And then we can do EPF. You know what would be fun is if I modified the autocomplete for git merge to basically filter everything out by this no merged thing. Because like, I think I have others, which the reason I do slice is because, of course, I don't merge QA. I don't merge design. Design lives on its own. Like that's where the event model stays. But slices is the thing that I'm always integrating and combining, right? So that's why we have this AG slice. By the way, AG is Silver Searcher. If you like searching through stuff like with grep, this one's a lot nicer. I think it ignores .git folders. It colorizes things by default, all sorts of things. So, yeah. So there's AG. It's called AG Silver Searcher. You won't be able to just install AG. AG is, I guess, the periodic table element name for Silver. So that's why it's a nice short name. Yeah, so I think it's sudo apt install Silver Search. Is it Silver Searcher? Oops. Silver Searcher AG. Okay, right. So that's how you install that utility. Anyway, Just if people were wondering, you know, what it is that I'm doing here with this mysterious AG command, I could just do it with grep. Right? It does the same thing. I'm just more used to AG now. It's faster to type as well. Oh yeah, I never have two commands coming out of a given workflow. Well, no, a workflow can have multiple commands and state views. A workflow can be multiple slices, like lots and lots of slices. That's what I mean by workflow. A workflow to me is a collection of slices that attains some goal. So I think the granularity is in question here for what you call workflow. For me, it's larger collections of slices. So if I go back to here, notice that I could say that open spaces setup is a workflow. I can say that naming may be a feature, not a workflow, but I could also say that naming is a workflow as well. It's a sub workflow. It's part of a greater overall workflow called open spaces setup. I'm setting dates, I'm adding rooms, I'm adding time slots, right? So I guess, you know, I don't want to be a stickler, but I guess if it's going to introduce some issues like we have with specifying processors and adding too many commands. So I don't know if you saw any of that stream from yesterday, but I'm rewriting the event modeling site entirely and rewriting that original article. I think I'm done with people misinterpreting the two extra patterns, because when you look at processor, this is my specification for it. I actually don't have anything different than in a specification for a state change or a state view that does something with a screen, right? This is my processor specification. It's just a combination of the two standard ways of doing given when thens. So I think by trying to be too accommodating, I've made a mistake in not keeping event models refined, and people are making all sorts of different patterns and complicating things unnecessarily. So simple. It doesn't matter if there's a gear over here or a screen. Like, this stuff is identical. There is no other patterns for automations. Honestly, I think one command at a time. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think we're talking about two different things. So there's only one command at a time here. I mean, this is a command, and I'm only talking about that command. Like, you don't see any others. Sure, this event could be generated by some other command somewhere else in the workflow, but I don't care. Like, I'm just, a command can be executed with a whole bunch of previous commands in history, events in history, and I have to show that it still uses these or ignores them or whatever and spits out what I expect. But yeah, I'm not adding another command here. This is all just this one slice of just testing this one command. And these ones will have their own, etc., etc. Otherwise, which branch do you know to take and how to visually say without so much trouble? Okay, so this is how you glue slices together. So let's say as part of, this command, I can have some different events. These events will end up being, if I have a similar spec of the state view somewhere over here, and the data point in here, in any of these, depending on how differently I write things, that is where the decision's made to take another workflow, right? It may or may not end up in a to-do list for another processor if you're talking about automation. Oh, I have to check okay, Discord. Okay. Both branches were two separate event modeling. The transfer posting receiver ended up on accept transfer, reject transfer, or fail transfer. Okay, yeah, I kind of don't get it. We're gonna have to walk through some examples because to me this is not a big deal. I see the Lego blocks of putting together what can happen overall and how things can go into a different workflow is kicked off by perhaps a processor or perhaps someone looking at a screen and pressing a different button depending on what they saw in this. That is where the workflow changes. I think people still want to have this as like there's an if statement in my code that does this. Yes, it boils down to that, but how you represent it here is really about some condition where something ends up in a to-do list or does not. And that is how another workflow starts or doesn't start. End of story. That's, yeah. All right, I need to finish this because I have a limited time, but I want to talk about this with you tomorrow if you have time. I will look at the DM, but I want to finish this this merging thing, and I want to do the same thing. So first of all, I did do this for getting redone, which should now allow us to merge everything into the QA branch, right? So we can also do it in the same order. I'll show you how to do that. So get merge, and then we have this BPF slice, and then we have the .NET came up first. Okay. So do that. We have a conflict. Are you serious? Okay. Where is that? Oh, the git ignore. Right, that should be easy. So we just have to add both because that has the event stream. This has bin obj. So accept both changes. That's totally fine. That the only thing? Unmerged paths. Yeah, that's fine. And we have all this. So that's where we added the fake events. Okay, I didn't know we added fake events just in the CS, which is kind of fun. I do actually want to copy fake events to the other one because it's yeah, it's a fun thing to do. All right, let's add everything. Good. Do we have git merge? Yes, abbreviation git merge. That's pretty cool. Okay, so Fish is so good. It actually even auto completes or auto suggests that I have abbreviations. Very, very cool. Yeah, I don't really care. And so now we can push this. That's our integration branch. I guess if we want to look through git lens, here's our connect PRs. I don't want to connect PRs. I want to do that. Where is my history? Why is that not shown here? Okay, mid graph. Okay, so yeah, so just to show what we did here, we have this development branch, which basically merges all the different things that we have. So we only merged 2 things because we had these other ones already merged here. And so .NET was the last one. Yeah, that one here. That's the branch, this one. So we had these 3 branches that were missing, and now they're in there. Good. So the same thing with now QA. We're going to assume that these are finished pieces of work, even though I don't think we have tests for everything, but that's fine. So git checkout BPF QA. That's for our finished branches. Why is that giving me something weird? Some projects have trouble loading, blah, blah, blah. But why would checking something out? Oh, because of that object thing. Okay, so QA, yeah, we can just remove those. I don't know how that got in there. I hope it's not committed. Git log obj. Did it get committed? No. Bin? No. What else do we have here? .git ignore? Yes, okay. That's good. All right, so yeah, we don't have those anywhere in our history. That's good. And so now git, okay, let's see which branches we don't have merged here. So no merge, and then up arrow will mark when we looked at not merged stuff. So obviously all these slices are not merged. And again, we'll do this in chronological order of what I think we finished first. I think we did the time slot add first, so we can do a git merge bpf slice put things in the way. Time slot. I guess that's the one. I hope I'm right. Well, we do have the conflicts. I think it was rooms that we had before. Git merge abort. I think it's rooms. State view rooms node. Yeah, see that's clean, which I expect. The next thing we did was the time slot, I think. And that's weird because we had re, so I guess the state of the files was a little bit different than we had in our integration branch. So that's another reason. So people have been complaining that I'm putting this into one giant file. That's actually a very, if I was to listen to any argument against that, it would be about conflict resolutions. Because you will get so many. The file, how conflict resolutions are remembered is by the signature of the file in its exact shape. So if you have one giant file with everything in it, you're going to have so many opportunities for that signature to change, and you're not going to match on any previous conflict resolutions that you remembered. So if you're doing proper source code management, yeah, definitely break these out into separate files. So maybe that's what we'll do after we merge everything, is restructure the project so that things are a little bit more controllable. And yeah, let's fix these though. So we have app.js and the main CSS. I think this is going to be the same type of thing. We're just going to be taking theirs side for most of it. I think in the main CSS we'll take both sides because we do have some table structure formatting that we want to preserve that we didn't have in our second input. So yeah, let's close this and start to look at what we have as. Okay, so there's the app.js, and why is this? I thought there was a conflict here, but there isn't. Okay, that's odd. Maybe it got resolved by re. I think it would. I think it did. So current change is that. That's the gross one. Notice the tons of changes here. Okay. And here we only have this. So we dropped. So we're dropping. What are we dropping here? So this is incoming. But why would we drop all this stuff? This is test name. Oh yeah, this is the old tests. We don't want to keep these old tests. And we're merging. What are we merging here again? This was our add time slots. So this is rooms. So we don't want these rooms here. It's weird that this has only this in it. This test runner is old. Yeah. Yeah, this is an old test runner as well. We actually don't want any of this. So this is time slot adding. And this is rooms testing. So that doesn't belong. So yeah, we do not want this old stuff. So we will accept the incoming change. And it is horrible. I don't know. I'm not sure how it did this, but it shouldn't have nothing. Although QA probably has nothing in it. So this actually is okay. Oops, I'm done with this. Let's see. So it added the time slots. Okay, sure. Git commit. Git add. Git commit. Or git merge. Continue. No tests to run. What's the next one? I think do the rooms dot the to-do gen thing. That should bring everything else in. Although I might just nuke this entire branch. Pretty crappy. State view. To do. Yeah. Of course. Okay. So I think we did this in the wrong order for some reason, but that's okay. We got these conflicts will probably fix all the issues that we had for the previous one. So let's start with the app. Yeah, this is old. I know that we don't use that. Yeah, we use 3002, and of course this has the proper work. Yeah, we dumped a whole bunch of stuff in here for the processor. In doing the processor, we established a better testing framework where we have the timelines and checkpoints and the tests right in line. So yeah, this definitely is picking accept this time slots. I'm just wondering if the time slots are there or not. Did we erase them? So state view for time slots. No, time slots are here, but it's a blank. Okay, so time slots is not doing anything, and it's not doing anything here either. Okay, so that's fine. So the only thing we're not committing is the infrastructure, which we know we can just wholesale replace. And this time slot's included in there anyway. It's weird how it didn't split this into two patches to match this up. Maybe the formatting's a little different. So we're going to accept the incoming changes, which is going to give us everything that we need here. And I don't see any other conflicts in here, but I know that we had main CSS. This table stuff made it in because we had this merge conflict before, and so we re-answered it. We also had the package JSON, this lock, I think we had also as a resolved, like the thing that resolved it. Oh, why do we have this here? This should not be here. Do I get rid of it right now? Nah, I'll do another cleanup once we've yeah, we're not looking at, yeah, this was not supposed to be there. I think it's a remnant in one of the branches. This is the one we look at, and it's the one that's actually sitting in the design folder outside of this repository. So I think main CSS, yeah, we said that this is actually this whole thing here. It's weird that it doesn't know that re was applied. That's not a good integration with the IDE saying that resolved resolution was applied. This is the only one where we had conflicts. So we could see, okay, conflict, merge conflict in app.js, auto merging, merge conflict in package, auto merging. Okay, conflict. Recorded pre-image for app.js. So, okay, so that's where it's recording things. Okay, there we go. And then this is what we're looking for. So automatic merge failed for one of them, but it didn't for some of these. So we had conflicts come up for main CSS, but we noticed that because we enabled recording resolutions, it saw the state of that file before, and it was able to do it for us. So we only had really one thing to deal with, which was the app.js. And that's a good point for splitting it up into multiple files so that we have an easier time when we merge our slices. So I think that's successful. We only have that. So that's the nice thing about the re resolution, is that I turned on the automatic fixing and adding to the staging area. You don't have to turn that on. You can manually apply it. It'll suggest that, hey, there is a resolution for this, and there you can actually see how it'll resolve it before committing to that, or you could blast that resolution away with something else that you've done. And I mean, yeah, anytime. So Martin and I actually have given a lot of training on Git, so we're either one of us can help. But yeah, we can help you. If you have questions about Git, certainly you can ask. I'll be happy to answer. So we can just add everything here and then continue our merge and be done with it. And that's good. So now we have QA, and if we do no merged, we see that we only have the .NET slice, which should be fine. I think there's only... So I don't know what I don't know. I think you can learn a lot from the Linux kernel patch contribution if you read their... maybe, I mean, it's so well known that you could just ask ChatGPT to say, how do I manage source code when I commit to the Linux kernel? It'll kind of spit out what I'm doing. But yeah, if there's specific questions you have, then just let me know. I mean, I don't do everything like the Linux kernel, obviously. There's things that don't apply for regular development. But the core thing is, you know, keep things well organized, keep things separate, and, you know, make use of some of these good features like resolving resolutions automatically. So if we go to merge BPF slice, and then we do the .NET one. Are you sure? So I think automatic merge failed using previous resolutions. Fix conflicts. Okay, so really? How'd it work? No, it worked. So, okay, that's kind of odd. So re output comes in here, but there is still a message from the merge that the automatic merged without using re. So like basically had conflicts I didn't know what to do with, which was the obj and bin ignore entries in the git ignore file, and the other one that had its own contents. But obviously for git ignore, it's cumulative. We just want to keep adding whatever's added. And we did that already when we did things when we did our integration. So this is another reason why this branch per feature thing works so well if you have the resolved resolutions enabled, is that all of the work that you're doing as you're integrating your work with all the other slices that other people are doing, you're actually priming your system to know how to take care of some of these resolutions, conflict resolutions that you're running into bit by bit. And so then when eventually you're finished with your feature and you're merging that to the QA branch, and where there's already some of these other branches that your colleagues have made, you're dealing with very few manual merge conflicts. You've already recorded a lot of those resolutions because you've been actively integrating and recording that along the way. So now when you're finished your feature and you're doing that quote unquote great big commit to QA, it's flawless because you're reusing all the things you've done all along with your continuous integration. So this looks good. So again, this git ignore was the one that had an issue, but we noticed that we had, that git ignore is staged now using the previous resolution. So I don't really care. That works, and I can just do a git merge continue. I can see that all the changes are staged to be committed. Anytime you have an unresolved conflict, it won't be in the staged area. So just look for red entries when you do a git status to do that. And that's how you'll know. So we'll just continue this, and I'm happy with that message, and we're done. So now we're kind of finished with all of this stuff. So I don't know if there's a way to see this. Can I break this out? Actually, I don't like this view. I think the Git lens has a better view. Git lens. I think we have it here, right? I have just to refresh it. I noticed that it doesn't refresh really well automatically, so I try to do that manually. So okay, so now QA has all of these, so it has this slice, this slice, this slice, and this slice all done. And you can go here and notice that it had this rooms SV already in here, right? Because that was already finished. However, I think I added more stuff in there. I think I renamed it node and added some more features, but whatever. This is just a messy experimentation. But what I want to show is that we start on the start tag down here, and all the features, all the slices start from there. And you can see that this dev branch here, this is where we continuously integrate all of them along the way. Obviously, it was hard for me to do as a single person working through these, but when you have multiple people working through there, they're going to have their intermediate commits all going through here. And that's where you're going to get your feedback. That's where everyone's going to record the resolutions. And I have another thing that I try to do is push the re history, like the learnings that you did. So let's say I resolved a conflict somehow. First of all, you can find that resolution by looking at how I merged something in my history, because that would have been the same conflict. And the signature of the files would be the same. So let's say I'm away and on vacation, and then Yurtis, you're trying to do the merge as well. You can investigate how I did that, but better yet, if I share the or train my re from previous conflicts, there's a script I think that already exists where you can walk previous merge commits, and if there were any conflicts, you can basically prime your re history to have those things automatically applied. So in other words, you can easily share how things have been resolved by others if you have to do that resolution yourself later. And yeah, a long time ago, I was basically sharing the Ririri folder, which is in .git/Ririri or something like that. And then you can commit all those files to a separate branch and share that along with your coworkers. And then you can just sync that up whenever. And it's good because it's content addressable. So it's like you can just keep writing. It's very additive in nature. And then so yeah, I just rebase and force push. Yeah, I hate rebasing. I don't rebase. I only did one rebase here to move the .NET effort onto its own branch. So you can see that this was actually plucked from this. So I just switched to working on the app.cs and all that stuff here. But it was originally on top of all of these. So I rebased this, including this history of these people doing these pull requests, onto the start tag so it looked like its own effort. But I don't do that ever in reality. I really just have a merge and reset workflow. I don't believe in rewriting history in event sourcing or source control. So I don't squash things. I use the commands to kind of show me what's going on. Yeah, I don't like a lot of the standard practices in the industry. I think they're not healthy. So too bad. Yeah. Okay, since I did this, now I can do another start tag. So I'm happy with this BPF QA actually working. We should probably just test run it, that it also works. But you can see that the only things that don't get merged together are the higher order branches, like the dev and the QA. So if I go and look at how we run this, let's see, actually, let's run it. Make sure things are working. So we're now in the QA branch, which is really the artifacts you should be shipping to production, right? In the QA branch, you have everything that's working. And so that's kind of like your release candidate that you want to go ahead and push to production once all the tests pass and all of that. So yeah, we should have, we should have the node stuff working. When's the last time I ran node? Oh, way up here. Run the tests. Okay, so the tests are still good, just like before. And then we can run without the tests. And it has these rooms. So rooms again has fake events. Here's, yeah, that works. If I change room added event, auditorium, I have that renamed. Main hall 250 deleted, room added, so it's CS2. Yeah, so if I change this to 550 and save it, yeah, it still works. So the projection still works. It's good. Again, it's throwing up a whole bunch of these debug things, which I don't really want. My goodness, why did it do all of this? Yeah, I definitely have to get rid of some of these console logs. Processing event. Yeah, every time I refreshed the page, it basically went through that. And then, of course, adding the whole history. So you can see that it's getting the right one there. And what else is it doing? Processing history, yet another refresh. So every time I hit the page, it did this. How many times did I refresh it? Jesus. Am I running this too many times? Refresh. Only hits it once, yeah. So it gives the history, processes the events, and that's what gives you this projection. Okay, so that works. That's fine. So that's rooms, time slots. I forgot how I did this. That's not really ready. Yeah, so I don't think I have a post thing. Time slots is a read-only thing. I don't have fake events for it, which is fine, but it works. I can generate this. I know works. So if I go to this, I can create. This is a more interesting one because it actually does add a new event here. This is the only thing that we have for adding things. So you can see this immediately worked because we have the synchronous thing going. So here we are immediately looking for requests into our read model, and we do find one. And so it found a request, provides the ID, does that, then it does that, and I can go back and I can hit that again. It'll do that again. It'll give me another conference ID. Again, this screen is not part of the application. It's part of the sysadmin's screens to show these things. We're going to be building off of this for the next slices. Rebase is life, so others do not get into the habit of using my branch. No one, you shouldn't really care about someone using your branch, honestly, especially if you're doing slices. Not an issue. And if you are not doing slices and someone's using your branch, who cares? Punish them. Force push stuff. Yeah, good. But I wouldn't do rebase. You can still kill their efforts by doing resets. And that kind of stuff. So yeah, don't rely on the other stuff. Okay, so here's fake events, right? This is the stuff that actually we had as part of the rooms functionality. This was kind of cool because then you can run them and just pre-populate all of this for like rooms. So if I want to go back to the default of what the rooms testing is, I can do that fairly quickly. So let's see if I have anything else here to test. I think I have the .NET one only. So we did this generate thing, and then we have this to do genconf IDs. But we already did that because it brought us to, so these two URLs we already tested, because this is the actual IDs, and this is the screen to like create them, right? And so yeah, this will go there. But that's fine. And then of course we have the other thing that we did here is of course the .NET. And all this other crap. How do we run this stupid .NET thing? .NET run? It has a CSproj and all this stuff, so okay, so it does have this thing, and I think, what do? We had rooms set up, and it's running on 303. So we go to this rooms setup, and we just go to 303 rooms. That should be the it's not working because we don't have any unique ID requested event. Yeah, so we've got issues there. I don't think this is fully working. So if anyone wants to fix this, go ahead. I'm not really focusing on .NET, but it's getting unexpected. It's getting unexpected events here, and I'm not handling it right in the deserializing part, obviously. So it's barfing, which is fine. I'm gonna just show you how I do the fake events. So we remove everything in event stream, and then we copy the fake events from wherever we want. So in this case, we're going to copy that from here. Oops. That's not the one that I wanted. Okay, so fake events, fake. Where is my history events? I had. That's it. So I remove the event stream and I copy all those. That's better. So now it's got a copy of what I have here. And now if I do the .NET run, then I can refresh this and it should give me, yeah, this, right? So it doesn't have some strange events in here that I did not expect. Again, this .NET implementation has to have some more resilience. So it's not doing a proper filtering on that. I mean, I can show you here the code where this stuff is problematic. Again, it's not here. This is already when we're getting the history with each event being passed in. We probably have this type switch on that and throw unknown event type. I don't know if throw is the right thing here. I don't know if we should be throwing on unknown event. I think we should just skip it, honestly. So here we're getting the type out of the file name, and that is a string, and then we do a switch on type. That's a weird syntax, eh? Like they're really adding all this sugar, which is, I mean, that's nice. It's kind of a functional thing here. And then where it doesn't equal null. So like this really should be a null instead of trying to throw that. So anyway, and then we have all of these. And thanks for Bob Archer for making these one-liners. Nice. And putting them at the bottom so they don't get in the way. We can like jump in here. The other thing that the .NET folks might want to do with a pull request here is to get or don't even do a pull request. Just make your own branch. Tell me where your fork is. I'll merge it in. I hate this pull request stuff. It's really not something that I enjoy doing, especially when there's that squash option. I want to see your history of how you got to where you got to. So yeah, if you want to add a test for this set of rooms, you can copy the node implementation and do that in .NET. So let's make a new start tag and add the other features and make this run end to end, and we can experiment on that. I think everyone's kind of waiting to see this in action, and so now we've got like a good test framework in here that we've developed. So we can do all our unit tests for everything. We can glue together all of that, and then we can start to sprinkle in some of the other things like scaling. Like let's make this, let's make the events be slow. Like take a fifth of a second, and then we'll see as we use the system more and more, it slows to a crawl, and that's when we can start looking at adding indexes to make things fast, and caching and memoization and all of those things. So let's jump back into GitLand. Close this. I don't want to keep this above everything else anymore, and so that can go away. We'll delete those. Get rid of the .NET one. Yeah, okay, and that's it. All right. So when we release something, we usually merge it to main, but in this case, it's not necessary. I can tag this QA thing as, first of all, let's push this. People get it. And we have the little *3 on my command line here means that I have 3 stashes, which I should probably just dump if I don't really need them. Let's do a git tag start 2. We actually have a BPF branch. No, we don't. We have BPF / things. Okay, so, and there's the design. I don't think we really changed much in the design. We will update the progress of these things as we mark them off as done. All right. So git tag, and we do start 2. So our second effort, second sprint, whatever you want to call it. We do that, and then we can git push tags, so you know where that is. Oh, I forgot to push the start tag, the first one. I guess I'm not working with anyone, so no one was doing anything. So here's the idea now. In here, you can start, so git checkout a new branch, and you can say, branch per feature. We have a slice. We want to do a state change. And in this case, which one do we want to do? Let's pick something. Let's just fire through all of these things very quickly and close this for a second. So let's just go all the way to the left and just fire through these bit by bit. I have this here for naming. So here are layers. We don't want to, okay, so we want on the communication line, the communication level, way too large. Move this, make this a little smaller again. I don't have that many layers there. That should be enough. And that can sit in here. And now I want another atom in progress here. So I'll copy this. I am on the right layer. And I'm going to go over here and say, I am going to paste this. Oh, really? It pasted it there. That's annoying. Okay, so let's just scroll over. Will it scroll? Will you scroll? Okay, it does not want to scroll. Ugh, annoying. So I'll just delete it and paste it again. Delete. If I click here and paste here, then it'll do it. Yeah, it does. Okay, good. Okay, so this is the slice that I want to do next. And if you're watching this, this is kind of how you mark slices. In this case, I do want to expand the slice to the left because it does show the default view that we'll use. I don't want the down below here. This is kind of nice that I have. I don't know why this is here. Oh, this is set name. Okay, with dates and stuff. Okay, which I really don't care about. That's not that important. I'm probably going to redo this. But now that I have this slice as something that I'm doing in progress, I will create a branch for this effort. And I mean, I guess I could, circle all this stuff. And this actually has the wrong format, right? So we have to fix this. This has the old format for our stuff. We certainly don't have that anymore. We have our commands on this side, making sure that these things happen, and our setups here are on this side. And of course we have, we have our labels and other things we'll add next time. But I gotta go soon, so I'm just gonna get this started for everyone. So if you want to see this, you can check out the repo and play along if you want. Oops. That's the communication thing. So if I do that, okay, I didn't create anything else. The event model, yeah, oh, that's all of that. So now on the event model, I want to move these things over underneath this one. And of course, we have the same problem here, where we also have a different no name entry. All of these, if you remember, are now one level higher because our history is always the previous row. That's why this makes sense like that. And of course, we move this over to this side, and that is the specification for that slice, which we're not doing right now. We're making our work on this one here. So it says in progress, and this will be the set name command, right? So if we go back to our branch management here, we want the state change and we want this to be naming, right? So let's just give ourselves a little more room so we can look at the event model. They probably have, I mean, I have everything in a large font, so I'm trying to fit everything on one screen so we can see it. But like if you're working on this in your own environment, these would be, much smaller, and you have 2 monitors, you could have the event model on one and all of that kind of stuff, and really reference things quite easily. So I know I'm working on these screens and the state change. It's, this boundary of when I'm done, it's incredibly powerful. So all my work is going to be done here, where I have the autonomy to work uninterrupted. Like Yurtis was saying, no one's going to mess with my branch. I'm going to be integrating it with everyone else's efforts. And then when I'm done with this whole slice, I'm going to integrate it into the QA branch, where I will be saying to everyone that, hey, I'm done with this. You can put it in production once QA is done with it, or some other tests have, more formal things have been done to it. Maybe it goes into staging environment, people try it out, whatever it is. Or you're diverting some users to that installation. So I would prefer, instead of feature branches, feature toggles, the config should actually be at the infrastructure level. You should be hitting a whole different set of servers with features, not hitting different code. That is how configurations and toggles should work. If I want to test out a feature on 5% of my users, do it at the router level. Put them to those other machines so that they run on a different system. Don't intertwine the bullshit with the real stuff. So that's just my opinion, though. Let's see. So this will be, what are we going to call this? This is a set name, right? So here we have set name, and that's a node. We have that. We set that up. We could have, I have this nice new branch. I could add a quick little placeholder just so there's something pushed, right? I kind of want to make sure it's at the very beginning. So, we have get events, push events, processors, notify processors. We have get rooms. So the first thing that we need to do is app.get, and then we get the form. So it would be set name. That's that. And the name is, right now it's blank. We do want to, we're not taking care of the state view, which is the next slice yet. So we're just going to leave it as a blank when we render it. And so now we can just ask our friendly thing here to add a mustache, add a screen, or add a page for setting the name. And of course, as before, we've been quite fortunate to have AI generate this for us. So if we go back to here, we can say, well, do we even know what this looks like? Yeah, we kind of know. It's here. It's part of, I don't know if we have submenus on the rest of these. So I want to okay, so we have like setup, rooms, name. So we kind of want to have, we want to copy this part because that's our menu. Just pure thievery, right? Run the event model. We'll move these down. Oh, actually move this down as well. Oh, I forgot. Communication thing we can turn off. And I want to move this down a bit as well so I can fit that extra menu in here. And I will paste here. Where's paste? Did I not? Oh, paste here. Yeah. Okay, and now I can move this over. And we do that. And then, of course, we have to do some because the styles in this thing is kind of tough to deal with, I'm going to copy this and paste it here, and then say name, erase that, and erase that, and erase that. Yeah, kind of a pain in the butt. Yeah, the styling is really, I really don't like the styling in Draw.io, but it's better than paying 2,500 bucks for 13 licenses in Miro. So we'll type in rooms like that, and then delete that formatted one. Okay, good. So this kind of shows the kind of wizard type of interface that we're doing. What I wanted to show though is that I can take a screenshot of this, and when we have that done, I can just copy this and paste it in here. And then because I have that image, I can say do that with the code base, and it should know to give me that particular thing here. So it gives me all of those things. I don't know if table styling. I don't want any of that. Template uses existing style form. Yes. Oh wow. The page structure follows the shown in the event model diagram. So this is interesting that it's actually interrogating that, because it's not that is actually opened. Okay, I really do want to get rid of this here. It does not belong here. I want to delete that. I want to do this again. I want to see if it has the code base and the image, but I don't want that old. See, that event model, that Draw.io file was an old one. I don't want it to use that. So it's not looking at that. Now, it's interesting to see if Cursor AI knows what I have open, whether it's from another one. So it probably doesn't know that there is an event model there. But it would be interesting to see if I can actually mention it by name at files. Oh, I can. For the tests too. I wonder if it'll know the tests. I don't think it will. That's something that I'm playing with potentially, is getting a Draw.io. Like Draw.io has some really good linking, so I could have child objects and things like that that'll actually get reflected in the XML. And if that'll be enough of a structure for it to read it as a timeline, it should be able to generate the tests and the code for it. Add a page, okay. Actually, I don't want to. Actually, it's doing fine because it has the code base in there. So look at that. It has active, inactive, all of that. Uses the existing thing. Good. Which is just listing stuff. Includes a form that will post to set name. Oh, good. So it does that too. Yeah, that's pretty nice. So there's already code for the root. Good. it's doing that. I can apply that. It'll do that. Accept the file. Uses those things. Cool. And then we have follows the navigation structure in the mustache. Yeah. Includes a form that posts. Okay, so apply to set name. Why would it put it in here? I'm not gonna apply it here. Can I apply it to the other place? Not that. Did it do that already? Set name? Why can't it apply it here? Why is it trying to do it to set name? Set name post. Yeah, I want that here. So and what is this? That's just the code. Yeah, why is this trying to apply it to this? That's wrong. Okay. All right, cursor, you are all right sometimes, but sometimes you're not. So here we can have the push event, blah, 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 redirect. I don't know if that's how we do things. Push event, we request unique ID, get events, blah, blah, blah. And so we do have, yeah, we're not going to do this. We're going to say, you know, implement this later. I just want to make sure that it's rendering the page, and that's about it. To fix so it's like the others. Let's see if it works. Okay, sort of works. Hello. Yep, cannot read properties of any. Good. That's actually more than I thought it would have. And then in this setting, we want to have tests. Tests for set name. Come on. Slice pushed. Yes. Set name SC. Good. Timelines. Happy path. All right. So it's using the same structure automatically. I could see if it'll do more. I kind of want to get going. I'm kind of done with this today. I'm going to show that this is the communication here. Yep. Zoom out, but I have these here. And if I zoom in a little bit, it should be legible. And now I can print screen these. See if it actually does it. I'm not really that optimistic because I know that I've added a lot more stuff here. So let's get rid of that and add that. And submit with Cobase, implement, finish, implement the test. I think that, I mean, as soon as your application has lots more so that's interesting. I don't want the state view. That's wrong. State change. Checkpoints. No, yeah, that's wrong. See, it's got state in there. It should only have the commands. Yes. They are state change. They are command tests. And don't need state line. I don't know. We'll get this resolved to be automatic pretty soon. Let's create a new really? Why is it doing that? Oh, that's the previous one. Why does it go to the top? Command, checkpoints command, test does that. It should have a event. So yeah, this is not doing things properly. I'm too optimistic. So forget about that. I do want to have a basic test though. So happy path, checkpoints, event, set name. Events should be whatever, result events. Sure. We'll see node app.js tests. Not even picking them up, is it? Ah, yeah, it is. There. Good. Okay, so at least we have a failing test. So we have that slice, set name, state change. Good. And then we could probably give it a nicer name. We do have, like, this is nicer. This has room state view. This doesn't have a nice name. So we should probably train this thing to look at better code. You know, it doesn't need to be like that. That name, state, change. Right, happy path, whatever. Okay, good enough. That's good for today. I'm going to be back tomorrow. Get status. So we have those things. We updated, we deleted that, which is something I gotta. I'm gonna amend our last. Nah, that means I'm gonna have to do it. Redo the tag. I guess I will redo the tag. Fine. Get add or get remove event model draw get status. Okay, that's what stage. So now we do a git commit and we do no edit and we do amend. Okay, now we get push this locally. We do head to the QA one because we just amended that. So we do BPF -QA and we have to force that. And we have to do the same thing. Actually, we don't need to do that. Because now get log -1 will show that we just have that and that. Okay, so now we just need to, yeah, we'll need to force push that. Because here we got rid of that extra draw IO diagram, which we don't want to use. It'll confuse things. So git push, and then we force origin, and then BPF QA. that's good. We also need to delete the tag and recreate it. Get tag, delete, start to, and then we recreate get tag, start to on where we are, and get push force tags. Yes, forced update. Good. So that's fixed up. And we want to add this now. So get status, what do we have here? We just have that and the new mustache. So okay, we're happy to add all those. And so here I can just do a git commit initial step for slice. In second sprint. And we push that and we should be good. That's the new one. Okay, so you can see my work there if you want. And yeah, I'm probably going to be back. Oh, Gabriel, thanks for buying the book. Definitely buy the book. I will hold it up. Buy this book. You want to know how to do this? It's all in this book. Martin did an awesome job showing everything that I'm doing here. I'm adding the event modeling chapter to that. Hopefully by the end of the month. It's kind of dovetailing into the work that I need to do anyway to rewrite the event modeling article that's on eventmodeling.org. So that should be coming soon. So, and if you buy that on LeanPub, you will get the new chapters like the event modeling chapter and the security chapter that Martin has and the metadata chapter that he has. So yeah, lots of stuff in there always coming down. It's been the #1 book on LeanPub for almost 2 months now, coming up on 2 months very shortly. The only time that it slipped to #2 was, I think, the half week that it was debuted, because it only counted for 1 or 2 days of sales. And then the other time that it slipped to #2 is when the Amazon version came about, and so everyone was buying the print version on Amazon instead. Otherwise, it's been #1 since the end of October. So yeah, it's gonna be 2 months almost that it's been #1 on LeanPub again. You want that book and you want to know what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, it's all explained here. So that's it for today. I'm off, and I'll be back tomorrow for more. So see you then. Thanks for joining. And if you have questions, join me on Discord. There is a channel for this on Discord. It's called Live Streams. So it's integrated with what you're seeing in the chats here on the right. Anyway, hopefully that's legible. I'm going to have to check this stream and see if that writing is legible. Restream kind of has a weird font. I'm going to try to improve the legibility of those chats. Anyway, thanks again, and